with another video, and I'll be watching this.
Chicken, it's a towel.
How the hell did a dirty, wet towel accidentally get covered in breading and even deep fried this way? That fam, let me warn you, this video might forever ruin your favorite foods. And in the end, after seeing the shocking clips we are about to show you, please tell me, will you still eat fast food? Let's start with what seems to be a bestseller ingredient in many big fast food chains, live maggots. At first, they could disguise as sesame seeds, but once customers take one gross bite out of their nuggets, chicken wraps, and burgers, they get shocked by this. Let me ask you again, will you still eat fast food after this?
That is so disgusting. Oh my god, my stomach hurts. Ew, my god.
In fact, maggots have taken over this fast food restaurant that they're just hanging out all over the place. All over the floor.
You're not gonna want to eat any of that stuff anymore.
But enough about maggots, because many more living creatures deserve credit for how far they've infiltrated fast food kitchens. Like this cockroach that woke up so early to get into a delicious breakfast muffin. Maybe it came from this pack.
I'm definitely not eating those.
Or maybe these cockroaches were playing hide and seek with this mouse that seems to have made this plastic bag its home.
No.
Or how about some extra protein in your sandwich that bonus even after being deep fried? Stay.
I want to throw up. I want to throw up. I really want to throw up.
I can't help but wonder, guys, how many of the fast food meals we have eaten in the past were packed like this without us knowing? Because it's one thing to have a sweet tooth, but what if the sweet tooth was having you? This woman was biting into her favorite sausage roll when she suddenly chewed something unusual. It wasn't meat. It wasn't pastry. It was a whole tooth. Horrified by this, the woman even said,
I don't know if it was a corpse or whether it's human.
So, once again, let me ask you, will you still eat fast food after this? Because for me, well, I can confidently give you a solid no. So we were really excited to try fries, and then there's a freaking dead fly. Of course, it goes without saying, not all fast food restaurants are like this. And I am aware that for less privileged people, they may have no choice but to turn to these cheap options. But now that you have seen the grossest things you could find in fast food, I hope you are reminded to be more mindful about what you put inside your body. People say it all the time. You are what you eat. And that is why we made this video, because we believe that no one deserves to eat garbage.
And y'all, I put those little blurry stuff on there so you guys cannot see that. I can only see it. Oh my god.
This is a warning. I'm about to show you something incredibly sensitive and horrible. What you see now is a doctor caught on hidden camera doing something incredibly dirty to his patient while she was asleep. The woman was giving birth when this doctor covered himself right next to other doctors, pretending to examine her head. And what both the staff and the unconscious woman didn't know was that he was shoving his own penis into the pregnant patient's mouth. He did this for 10 minutes before wiping her mouth to remove the evidence. And now we have to answer these important questions. Why did someone record it and didn't stop him? How many people did he do it to? What happened to him after he got caught? And lastly, why it's important that you on the other side get to see his face. Because believe it or not, there is a more horrible reason why this disgusting doctor was filmed in the first place. Let us all look at his face. This face belongs to a man named Giovanni Quintella, a 32-year-old anesthesiologist. Before this crime, he would show off his daily routine on social media. But little did he know he would soon be exposed the same way, right here, right now, on social media. That horrible video you just saw, that was from a camera planted by the hospital staff because they were feeling suspicious by this doctor. Turns out, this guy would often sedate many of his patients, leaving them unconscious for an unusually long time. And in one previous case, he asked the husband of the patient to go out. Yes, this is definitely not his first time. Right after this horrific case, the police identified more than 40 women who saw this horrible monster and who are suspected to be victims too.
I just remember waking up the next day and all dirty with something wet.
And that is not the worst of it. That same woman was supposed to give birth to twins. And now she believes that what the doctor did to her may be the reason why one of the twins died after birth. Because she was sedated for too long. This makes me so angry. This sicko put each one of these mothers' babies at risk. All because he couldn't control his sick mind. Let us all look at his face. Earlier I said that it's really important for you to see his face, because too often do these people remain anonymous and don't pay the price for their horrible actions. This man deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, and it's good that now with this video, millions more people know how he looks. According to latest reports, he was arrested and suspended. His license was thankfully revoked, and the authorities continue to investigate if more of his patients come forward. But ladies and gentlemen, the story doesn't end here. There may be many more out there who are just like this sick doctor. Sick people who hide behind their professional uniforms and will strike as soon as they see an opportunity. And that is why we have to come together and be vigilant about this. Just like the hospital staff who followed their gut and exposed this doctor, let's remember his face so others like him know their life is...
Start learning a language with Duolingo, the world's #1 language learning app. Try fun lessons that are as easy as Uno, Dos, Tres. Duolingo is designed to keep you motivated. Earn XP and rise in the ranks of your leaderboard. And challenge yourself through interactive mini-stories. Duolingo is free.
This girl has been hiding from the sun for more than a decade now, because sunlight touching her skin makes her feel like she's burning alive. This is Savannah Fulkerson, the girl allergic to sunlight. And Nightfam, I hope you stay with me till the end, because this girl will make you realize something important that you have been taken for granted for all your life. Call it bad luck or a blessing, but Savannah was born in the sunny state of California. Like most kids, she enjoyed playing outside. Everything was pretty much normal until she turned 4. And on one sunny day, she went out with her mom.
Be outside, she'd start screaming. We'd be at the pool, she'd scream, she's burning.
Because of this, she would itch so much that it turned her hands and feet red. Scratching too much eventually gave
Stop
her
scratching,
blisters.
Grandma.
And so, to stop this suffering, her mother did something unusual. She would wrap her hands in bags of ice and then put her in a cold bathtub. Sadly, it did nothing. For the next few years, her mother would take her to doctors, with none of them ever figuring out what was happening to her. 5 long years of waiting and trying, until finally they found the doctor that could name what Savannah was experiencing.
Finally have a name for what she has. Erythropoietic protoporphyria.
She has a blood disorder that makes her allergic to the sun. It's a rare medical condition with no cure. All you can do is hide in the shadows for the rest of your life. Unless your skin is fully covered, you can never go to the beach. You can never go to a sunlit pool. You can never go outside and hang out with your friends on a sunny day.
Get burned from the inside out. My friend's definition of a normal day and my definition of a normal day are way different. Hers is bright, sunny, and beautiful. Mine's dark, cloudy, and rainy.
But here is where we reach an important part of this video, because we have a lot to learn from Savannah in the middle of darkness.
And literally, I have to be in the dark. Dark's my home.
A bright energy still flows from her. And ladies and gentlemen, the ways she speaks about her condition, she teaches something to all of us.
I just try to think positive because I know kids somewhere else have way worse than me.
Wow. I hope you are moved by this story as much as I am. Savannah's story must remind you of all the advantages that you have in life. Remember, everything that is normal to you can be a dream to someone else. Because truth is, this little girl who has been given a truly horrible allergy to sun is more grateful than many of us who are allergic to sun. This photo of a woman feeding a starving baby went viral a few years ago. The kid was thrown away by his own family because they believed he was a witch. But, Night Fam, we just found this boy years later, and how he looks right now will definitely shock you. This is his amazing transformation. Our story begins with one heartbreaking truth. This boy's parents didn't even get to name him. His own family abandoned him when he was just 1 year old, believing he was a witch based on how he looked. And while all of that was happening, no one in the community cared. Because they all believed he would bring disease and death, that he was cursed, that he would bring bad luck. This little boy, for 8 months, lived on the streets on his own, barely capable of walking, feeding on only scraps thrown away by people.
No one is feeding the child?
Yeah, no bother, no bother.
Tell me, does this face look like a witch to you? Because the unusual appearance of this boy captured the attention of this woman. Yes, the same woman who was photographed giving him food and water. In an instant, she wanted to take the boy with her. But for what reason could it be?
You are coming with me.
Who is this woman, and what is the truth behind this viral photo? Well, this woman is Anya Loven, the very woman who would change this boy's life forever.
Now, you don't have to be here anymore.
Without hesitation, Anya and her partner took the boy with them.
We don't know why he was accused of being a witch. We just know that he was abandoned by his parents.
They gave him a new home, food so he would no longer starve, clothes to keep him warm. They gave him the name Hope. And in just a few months under their care, this was how Hope looked. He was finally smiling. And after 3 more years, Anya surprised the world with another photo. You can barely recognize the boy the whole world had first seen 6 years ago. By then, Hope started doing a lot of firsts in his life. Walking on his own feet, playing with his new friends, dancing. He even started going to school. And guess what? The boy you see right now is home. Right at this very moment. All thanks to the beautiful soul of Anya, who treated him as her own, who believed there was a bright future ahead of him. At the start of this video, I told you that Hope's biological family called him a witch.
This growing superstition, it's really a challenge to change the mindset of these local villagers.
It is heartbreaking how these superstitions could have killed this kid if one kind soul didn't.
In 2010, Tokyo's oldest living man was 111 years old, except he wasn't alive. He was found mummified in his room, and turns out he's been dead for 3 decades. His relatives never announced his death, and so they were found guilty with fraud for taking his pension and other benefits. Wow, that's one way to make a living: dead.
John Cena is setting records, not as a pro WWE wrestler, but as a part-time genie. Turns out he has granted over 650 wishes for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I mean, love him or hate him, it won't change the fact that he made more than 650 kids so happy and loved. That is a very cool thing that people should know about. He is a very good guy for doing so much work for kids.
What if your favorite snack was covered in America's favorite caramel? Discover.
Do you remember this face? Yes, the bad guy from Squid Game. Well, what if I told you that Squid Game actually made his life miserable? Night fam, this is the unknown story of Ha Song-tae. And it will teach all of us just how much sacrifice it can take to get what we want. As you know, Ha Sung-tae was so incredible playing his character that people literally hated his face. But not many people know that he only started acting in his mid-30s.
I'm just one guy that came to work part-time. My employer. He wasn't rude, but he didn't speak kindly either.
Before that, he worked his body for so many years selling television sets in Russia and doing planning for a shipbuilding company back in South Korea. But then, one fateful night, this happened.
I had dinner and drinks with my coworkers.
Nobody, I'm just doing a YouTube video.
Since I was drunk at the time, I was like, whatever. I called the number and told me to record my name.
He said his name, hung up, and surprisingly got in the next day. The start of his acting journey was lucky. However, the adventure turned into an exhausting challenge. After more than 300 failed auditions, Sang-tae finally got a memorable role in a 2016 movie, and soon enough, he became the big bully in Squid Game. From this point on, ladies and gentlemen, it's where he starts to suffer more. Because when he met the director during the pandemic, he had just lost a lot of weight, which was a problem because his character was supposed to be a big, scary guy. And so, to keep his role, he was forced to gain 17 kilograms. And with such a sudden change, that definitely took a toll on his body.
I gained so much weight in a short period. Since my calf tore, my knees also hurt.
Of course, the struggle didn't end there. Because see, Sang-tae, this famous YouTuber, Technoblade, just shocked the world when he uploaded the final video of his life.
Hello everyone, Technoblade here. If you're watching this, I am dead.
This guy was one of the biggest gamers in the world, with millions of followers and more than 1 billion views worldwide.
That was another episode of Technoblade.
And yet, only in his last video did people ever know his real face and even his real name.
My real name is Alex. I had one of my siblings call me Dave one time in a deleted video from 2016. It was one of the most successful pranks we've ever done.
Technoblade is only 23 years old, gone too soon because of cancer. And ladies and gentlemen, while millions are still mourning his death, please allow this video to give you an important reminder about your life. This is a story of how one faceless YouTuber impacted millions before he died. See, even in his chilling last words, he didn't fail to show his humor.
My siblings are going to college. Well, if they want to. I don't want to put any dead brother peer pressure.
And that is one of the many qualities that made people love him. They enjoyed watching him play. They laughed at his witty comments. For his fans, he became just like their older brother or favorite cousin.
Technoblade, a 45-minute video coming up. Technoblade, you're done.
But what was truly remarkable, despite his fame and influence, was his humility. He managed to keep his identity private. And even in the unfortunate moment when he learned he got a rare cancer, he continued making jokes in his videos to stay strong for the people watching him.
To be fair, I could make this a lot weirder. I could have like the thumbnail be a giant red arrow pointed to my tumor with the caption, "Might die, not clickbait."
And while he was struggling himself, he even managed to organize a cancer fundraiser. But as we know now, he soon lost that battle. And in his final hours, his own father knew.
I got down on my knee at his bedside and I said to him, "You don't have to do anything else. But if you want to write one last video and you're waiting for things to get a little better, then I would say, don't wait. I don't think things are going to get any better anymore."
And now we all miss him.
He was just like a really, really sweet, humble, witty content creator.
He had such an impact on everybody. I don't have to generalize it.
8 hours before he passed, he was able to write these words for his fans.
If I had another 100 lives, I think I would choose to be Technoblade again every single time, as those were the happiest years of my life. I hope you guys enjoyed my content, and that I made some of you laugh. And I hope you all go on to live long, prosperous, and happy lives.
And as I watched that video, Night Fam, I can't help but think about two things. First, how beautiful it was that Technoblade got to say what he wanted to say before he left this world. And second, it makes you realize just how powerful this online world is in allowing all of us to be part of each other's lives. Just think about that. One guy who never even showed his real face or his real name was able to impact millions of lives that even in his final video, it felt like all of us got invited as a family to pay tribute at his funeral. And in times like these, when it's just so easy to send hate to strangers online, I hope Technoblade reminds us just how small this world really is, and how we should look after one another, how we should say, "I love you," when we can.
He was the most amazing kid anyone could ever ask for.
In his videos, he always says, "Technoblade never dies."
Technoblade never dies! Technoblade never dies!
And even today, we know that is still true, because the joys that Technoblade has given millions of his fans will forever live.
Y'all gonna subscribe to Technoblade. Like for real.
Remember this woman who sold her boob sweat and farts in jars? Well, she is now banned by TikTok and was even shunned by her extended family. And a lot of people right now are saying that she deserves to be denounced by the family and she deserves to be taken off the platform. But let me just ask you one question. I'm always interested to see how people are judging someone for the way they are making money, while reality is, I will risk saying, that majority of people would do anything to sell their sweat and farts for tens of thousands of dollars. This is just clear jealousy in my opinion. But I leave it with you, Nightfam. Tell me, do you think most people, if they had the
Well, guys,
opportunity
I've
to
been
make
doing
money
this
the way
video
she did,
for a long
would they
time.
choose that or would they stay in their regular
So I feel like
jobs?
stopping the video, but I did a video in like 5 weeks, maybe, I don't know. But until the video stops,
Going back in
I will.
style doesn't have to break the bank. With great prices on trending denim and school day essentials, you get the best and nothing less. Take an extra 20% off So Goods for Life. More style, more savings. Only at Kohl's.
This tattoo artist can make you look ripped in 2 days if you're too lazy to exercise. And if you don't have money to keep buying new sneakers, he can also give you a pair that won't wear out. On top of that, he can even do it surrounded by lions in the wild. What the heck?
I think it's the first time ever somebody attempted to tattoo with a wild lion walking right next to us.
Wow, Nightfam, comment down below, what would you like him to tattoo on you? Seems like he can do anything. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. The man you see right now lived 555 days without a heart. Doctors removed the organ from his body, yet he continued breathing. Why did they remove his most important organ? How did he even survive? And what surprising thing happened to him after those 555 days? This is the inspiring story of Stan Larkin, and in a while, his heartless journey will change the way you see the things you lost in your life. Because for young Stan, fighting heart disease felt like a losing battle that went on for many years. He badly needed a heart transplant, but there was no heart for him. And with thousands of patients in need of a heart, it could take Stan months, years, or even forever before he could find his second chance at life.
He was dying of shock. His heart was not pumping enough blood around in his circulation to maintain health of all of his vital organs.
So doctors had to do something drastic, something that could even kill their own patient. They had to remove his heart.
Whoa, my
And
feet
obviously
are
it was
so
a decision
itchy. I
that
did
Stan
not
had
know
to make with a heavy heart. Why did he have to lose a part of his own body? And what if the operation fails? Or much worse, what if he does it and doctors never find a new heart for him? Stan spent 2 weeks just thinking about his fate. But soon he finally realized it was a life-changing risk he was willing to take. He said most people would be scared, but I just want to tell them that you have to go through the fear because it helps you. To keep him alive, doctors created an artificial heart to be carried around in this backpack.
It just installs right into the bag. You gotta strap it in.
This very bag kept him alive, beating for him with every pump of compressed air that kept his blood running. So instead of feeling like he lost something, Stan carried around this bag with pride. He didn't treat it like unwanted baggage. In fact, he embraced the extra weight because it was now a part of him.
To that I became.
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to
I'm living on my life.
sit to the front a little
He
bit.
was able to keep dreaming, all thanks to this bag.
Raised me a long way from my life, man. It feels just like it says. Freedom, freedom.
So now, going back to our final question, what surprising thing happened to him after those 555 days? Well, guess what, Nightfam? Stan finally got the real heart transplant he had been waiting for.
Very emotional roller coaster.
Earlier, I told you that Stan's story will change the way you look at things you lost in your life. Because instead of treating the bag attached to his body as a burden, Stan proudly called it his freedom. And that is empowering, because in life we will all carry our own baggages, our own burdens and wounds from our past. In those moments, we can either let the baggage weigh us down, or just like Stan, we can proudly carry it and carry on living. Because what makes a person truly strong is the heart they put into their life.
It's an attack on the women of Georgia. Brian Kemp made abortion a crime before many...
This pub owner just saved himself from a crocodile attack with a frying pan. The pan scared the crocodile that it just rushed away from there. I guess Rapunzel and Joey weren't wrong about its superpowers.
To fight me.
Night Fam, what do Queen Victoria, Facebook, 007 and Nutella have in common? Well, you are breaking the law if you are named after them. Get ready to hear the world's most illegal names. Wow, quiz! Let's start in New Zealand, where parents lost custody of their daughter to the court because they named her something that sounds like a riddle. What do you think it was? Tallulah does the hula in Hawaii. Mary had a little Lamborghini. Peppa Piper pepperoni Pam.
See.
Turns out the 9-year-old girl told people her name was simply Kay because she was worried people would bully her for her name. When the court judge learned about this, he put her under court guardianship, and this forced parents to finally change her name. Now, if you lived in Iceland, what letter would your name not start with? A, B, or C?
C. A. C or yeah, I was right.
Turns out, even if Iceland has C in its name, the country doesn't accept baby names that start with it. That is because the Icelandic alphabet doesn't have the letter C. Just look at this. This is their alphabet. There is no C. And they take it very seriously, because they even have an Icelandic naming committee. You know what name won't be taken seriously in Sweden? Well, guess from these choices. IKEA, Elvis, Superman.
IKEA's.
Actually, all of the above. It's all thanks to Sweden's naming law, and this law also does not approve any first name that cause offense or discomfort to anyone using it. And speaking of superhero names, this guy who was born in Singapore seems to have gotten... Good news, Night Fam! Turns out there's a chance for all of you who think you'll be single forever, because this woman realized that she doesn't want to be single forever, so she married this ragdoll. And it was a proper wedding in front of 250 guests. To make things even crazier, she gave birth to their rag child. And just like that, single no more. By the way, don't forget to subscribe.
Baby with him. I mean, the night baby.
When you're not a fat, you can ride a Deep Hollow Ranch. This influencer on the left was not allowed to ride a horse because of her weight. So she expressed her disappointment on her social media. And this son of the ranch owner on the right was obviously rude about it in his response. So hold your horses, people. Both of you need some common sense to know not to demand a ride on a horse that could only carry up to 15% of its weight, and to know that calling a customer a fat is disrespectful and just simply wrong. Both guilty, especially the guy. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. This art piece, this map, and this face of Hitler are all poop. Literally, they are made of poop. created by different artists. It has been a thing in modern art as early as the 1960s, and some artists even use other stuff such as tears, blood, pee, and even semen to create. And if the definition of art, which is it's supposed to make you feel things, is right, then I guess they are succeeding. By the way, don't forget to subscribe.
Do I even have this video on? Oh yeah, I do. I forgot. It's so quiet. I forgot. Did you know using your phone on? Take those pictures.
I've had the Vixen for the last 20 years.
Wow, nice fun. I cannot imagine drinking Pepsi 30 times a day for 20 years like this man. I mean, how is his health? Well, unsurprisingly, he was found to be pre-diabetic because of it. And I'm actually surprised it didn't get worse than that, because that is a lot of sugar. But the good news is that he recovered from his addiction and now he only drinks...
No. I'm gonna hack this
water.
and make it.
I encourage all of you to drink more water and perhaps overcome your bad habits. By the way, don't forget to
spicy
subscribe.
Dorito chips, I just made it. Ooh. One more thing. Haha. Okay. So I took out the menu, now it is big rings. For big rings, for baked beans, I said baked rings.
This woman passed this note to the staff of a vet clinic, hoping they would help her escape from her abusive boyfriend. And just a few minutes later, the boyfriend was arrested and charged with felony, and the woman was finally free from her abuser. What a beautiful reminder that we can literally save somebody's life. All we need to do is to simply act with kindness. Kindly subscribe to Project Nightfall right now for more important content.
Looking like Phil.
Here are 15 things you never knew about Belle Delphine.
The most controversial gamer girl who once shocked the world when she sold
Gaming girl, bathwater.
Fact 1. The Queen of Simps once got attached to her own fan. The guy first paid to have a video call with Belle until...
He ended up being a really, really nice person, and then we'd kind of like keep Skyping, and then it kind of came to the point where it reversed roles. I was asking to Skype him and things like that.
Fact 2. She's actually more attracted to, well, to put it simply, ugly men. In fact, Belle, or Mary Belle Kirshner in real life, says humor is a bigger turn-on for her. And for some weird reason,
I actually found myself getting more attracted to guys who are stereotypically not attractive, because I feel like I don't know, it was kind of hot to me. I don't know why.
Now, for those who say she has daddy issues...
Fact 3. Belle said she disowned her own father.
He's just a huge I didn't speak to him, and he never really spoke to me much as a kid either.
Fact 4. She grew up in a very religious household. A very surprising thing, considering Belle once sold signed Bibles too.
Fact 5. She dropped out of school because she was bullied. 14-year-old Belle was bullied online by her classmates after they discovered screenshots of her dark humor jokes.
Fact 6. Belle has a real-life boyfriend, but he's anonymous. And does he feel bothered by what Belle is doing? No. In fact, he even helps her out with her sexy videos.
He helps me. That's what he does.
Do you pay him?
Yeah.
Fact 7. She reportedly earns at least $1 million a month. And that is just counting OnlyFans, where her most thirsty followers pay $35 a month to subscribe to her extra revealing content.
Fact 8. Belle once trolled porn viewers big time. She made a big announcement that she would join a major porn site, but in the end, she uploaded some non-erotic videos that only used clickbait titles like this.
Fact 9. Belle was once accused of selling other models' pictures as her own.
You scammed the poor girl, and then you ask her to fix the problem? Okay. Child. Like, God, deal with your own mess, Belle.
Fact 10. After selling her controversial bath water, Belle had another gross product in mind.
In my first porn video, I'm going to be selling.
No. What is that? Oh, it's a condom.
Note, she plans to sell this also used. And speaking of bath water...
Fact 11. Belle did really bathe in it before she bottled it up.
Did you pee or fart in the water or anything like that?
I mean, I think I spat in some of the jars.
Right.
Fact 12. She worked odd jobs as a teenager. To make money then, she found work as a waitress, babysitter, and barista.
You got a boyfriend, I bet he does he kiss ya?
Fact 13. Belle once recorded herself playing around with a dead octopus. Oh, but it gets weirder.
Fact 14. She also claims to have eaten glass after a random commenter gave her the idea of fitting a light bulb inside her mouth. Do not try this at home.
Fact 15. Belle is just more of a character to her.
I decided to do weird things in the combination as well as being sexy. Like, I'll be sexy and I'll be like cracking an egg in my...
Here are 15 things you never knew about. Yo, what do you think this camel is doing? Is it A, taking its tongue out to annoy other camels? B, spitting out its stomach as a disease? Or C, attracting a female camel with a pink meatball? The answer, Night Fun, is C. This meatball is called a doula, a pink inflatable organ in the throats of male camels that they display to attract the females. I don't know how is this attractive, but I'm kind of glad we don't have to do this. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Here are 15 things you never knew about Belle Delphine. Earns at least $1 million a month, and that is just...
Waitress, babysitter, and barista.
You got a boyfriend, I bet he does he kiss ya?
Fact 13. Belle once recorded herself playing around with a dead octopus.
He also claims to have eaten glass after a random commenter gave her the idea of fitting a light bulb inside her mouth. Do not try this at home.
Fact 15. Belle is just more of a character to her.
I decided to do weird things in the combination as well as being sexy. Like, I'll be sexy and I'll be like cracking an egg in my mouth or something. And then people will share that, be like, what? This girl's so weird.
Because unlike her attention-seeking gamer girl persona, Belle behind the screens is much more normal.
This is one reason why I really like wearing this wig, is because I didn't like attention in real life anymore.
Whew. Night Fam, whether you love her or hate her, you have to admit
She's definitely a character that makes everyone go, wow.
And it kind of came to the point where it...
Fact 1. The Queen of Simps once got attached to her own fan. The guy first paid to have a video call with Belle until...
He ended up being a really, really nice...
What up, dude?
Okay. Well, bye, guys.